Welcome to Warhammer 40k lore in the Bible, where I pull from Warhammer 40k lore to help explain biblical lore. And today I'm going to be reacting to some Tau TikToks. I also do a lore series, both short format and long format. That'll be every Monday, and then the shorts will be on Tuesday. And then I try to get 2 React videos in, where it's kind of in the same boat, where I bring biblical stuff and all that. And I haven't been able to do that the past 2 weeks, but I'm going to try to get back into doing that. But anyways, let's get this started. So I'm going to start with this verse. With 3 unclean spirits that look like frogs. But anyways, Revelation 16:13. And I saw 3 unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon, and out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet. Again, there's that dragon, right? We know Satan is a dragon, right? Not a cherubim, but a seraphim. Seraphim means fiery serpent. Okay. And out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet. For they are spirits of devils, working miracles, which go forth unto the kings of the earth and the whole world, to gather them to battle of the great day of God Almighty. And we see that right here, and this is verse 16, and he gathered them together into a place called Hebrew tongue Armageddon. So, this is that day of the Lord where judgment happens, right? And these entities that look like frogs, I wonder what entities look like frogs that are going to the governments of the world and probably giving them technology to battle God. Very interesting. But anyways, so let's get this started here.
In the distant reaches of the galaxy, amidst perpetual strife and bloodshed, lies the peaceful enclave of the Tau Empire. Born beneath the binary stars of the Tau, this young civilization leads boldly towards ascension.
I'm sorry, this is Warpstorm Warmaster. Apologies, almost forgot to do that.
In stark contrast to the grim darkness surrounding them. The Tau are a race of technologically advanced aliens guided by a philosophical principle known as the greater good. A collective of various subspecies and alien races. Their society is based on a caste system divided into earth, air, water, fire, and the enigmatic ethereals.
And in the next TikTok, I'm going to be getting into these ethereals in the biblical sense. So, very interesting.
Contributing skills and knowledge towards the Empire's goals. Their ethereal lust for progression, unity, and peace is marred by subtle manipulation, indicating a darker undertone beneath the veil of enlightenment. The Tau...
And it goes with... there practically is no good guys in the Warhammer 40k universe, you know? It's the greater good, but they're greater good, right? But anyways...
Empire, armored in cutting-edge battlesuits and armed with devastating pulse weaponry, march on in their crusades of expansion, seemingly undeterred by the cataclysmic horrors of the 41st millennium.
Now we're going to be reacting to Deadlifts for the Dark Gods, Ethereals Explained. Alright, now we're going to get into the ethereals in the Bible, which are actually elemental spirits that, you know, the pagans would worship and stuff like that. The problem here is that the mainstream church would tell you that it's talking about the laws of God. Except for the fact they're in Galatia, which is a pagan world. So they're not following the law of God at all. But anyways, I digress. Plus it literally says the gods here. Okay. So this is Galatians 4, 8, and 9. Howbeit then, when ye knew not God, ye did service unto them which by nature are no gods. But now, after ye have known God, or rather are known of God, how turn ye again to the weak and beggarly elements, whereunto you desire again to be in bondage? So, he's talking about these stoichion is the word there. So let's look that word up real quick. So, elements. Strong's number G4747. Here is the Thayer's Greek lexicon meanings of these. So it can mean element, principal, rudiment, that's the Strong's concordance, something orderly and arrangement, a serial, constituent, proposition, or element, principle, rudiment. But here's what I want you to focus on. The elements from which all things have come, the material causes of the universe. In this one, the heavenly bodies, either as parts of the heavens, or because in them the elements of man's life and destiny were supposed to reside. So that's what he's talking about there. These elemental spirits. Now, the ethereals, they do have power, right? And they're basically the religious and political class of the Tau Empire, right? Like you have the fire caste, which are the warriors, right? Water caste, and then your ethereals and all that. Anyways, he'll explain it. Anyways, let's get this started.
We act as one, lest we perish alone.
The Ethereals are a mysterious group of Tau that hold great power and ability. They are the spiritual and political leaders of the Tau people and scions of the greater good. Long ago, the Tau were on the brink of extinction as the forecasts waged horrific war during what is known as the Mont Tau. But one night, this all changed and their destiny would begin. On this night, a strange Tau entered the camp of the Alliance of Fire and Air as they laid siege to the Builder People's Grand Fort.
I find it interesting that you see this a lot in the Warhammer 40k universe. You know, you got the Emperor who comes out of nowhere. You got these ethereals that come out of nowhere. You know, I hope they build on that, because that is interesting. But anyways, I digress.
Fortress. This Tau spoke with the soft heart of a mother, but also the regal commanding of an emperor. Another such being would enter into the Defender's Fortress, and that same night, peace was brought to a people who had nearly slaughtered each other to obliteration. The Ethereals have remained to be such leaders to the Tau, bringing them incredible wisdom and guiding them through the stars. Their authority is undeniable, and many Tau find it nearly impossible to go against the wishes of an Ethereal. Rumors of mind control persist in the shadows of the Empire, and this caste has been known to abuse their power and control over the people.
Yeah.
But overall, they are great leaders, and many are truly compassionate and wise beyond belief. On the field of battle, they are a shining beacon of hope, inspiring the soldiers of the Fire caste to fight with fearless vigor. If one falls...
Hey, you got to give them a little bit of respect, though, right? Because they actually go out there and help fight, or at least lead, you know? But anyways.
However, the Tau will be struck with a wave of horrible despair and often be stunned. This despair will of course curdle into vengeful rage, and the enemy will soon feel the wrath of a Tau bereft of mercy.
Alright, now we're going to be reacting to more lore 40k. How the Tau made their own space marines. Right. Now, this doesn't necessarily have anything to do with what we're talking about here, but this is interesting. Kind of goes along with the Warhammer 40k universe as a whole. But I kind of want to shoehorn this in here. So this is Matthew 25, starting in verse 4. And Jesus answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you. So this is going to be the signs of the end times, right? For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ. So they're not saying that they're that they're Christ. They're saying that Jesus Christ is the Messiah, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. I hope you're hearing that, Christians. You know, and this is why he literally tells you, take heed that no man deceive you. He doesn't want you to be brainwashed, right? So many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation. Do you know what that word there is for nation? Ethnos. Very interesting we have this stuff going on now, isn't it? Because you know what, let's look that up real quick here. Let's go to the next one. So for the word nation, the Greek word ethnos, a race, a nation, the nations, a race. Very interesting. And then we got this, and kingdom against kingdom, And there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in divers places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall end you. And ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake, and then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. So, I just kind of wanted to shoehorn that in there, because it does kind of go in with everything about what Warhammer 40k is, a little bit. But anyways, let's get this started.
M41, the Damocles Crusade. Sergeants Numitor and Sicarius were leading their squads through the shattered remains of secret underground Tau laboratories when Numitor came face to face with another Ultramarine, who leveled his bolter and fired. During the desperate combat that followed, several things became clear. These were not robots as Tau were prone to design, nor were these variations of their battlesuits with Tau pilots in them. These pseudo-marines were vat-grown clones, barely sentient and using tactics that the Tau thought were correct, like shouldering their bolter guns when an Astartes is so strong that they'd never need to. But they were also wearing
One thing I want to talk about too, so we know in the Bible, right, there was genetic manipulation going on in Genesis 6. And, the sons of God came down, mated with women, produced giants and all that. And all different kinds of stuff, right? It wasn't just humans and giants. But if you notice, they got smaller and smaller and smaller and more human as time goes on. So, very interesting. But anyways.
Marine armor and wielding Imperial war gear that had been stripped from the dead in previous battles with the Tau and repaired. The labs themselves were made to simulate former battles. The two Ultramarine squads made short work of the imposters, but were shaken by the lengths the Tau scientists were able to go to prepare to fight them.
We're going to end it on this note here. So that way people understand where these, like frogs and where the devils are and demons and stuff like that. So we're going to go to Genesis 6. I brought it up, so I might as well bring it up here. Starting in verse 2. So the sons of God saw the daughters of men that they were fair, and they took them wives of all which they chose. Let's go to verse 4. There were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that. So that word for giants is the word Nephilim. This is an umbrella term for all these weird hybrids that we see, right? Satyrs, minotaurs, stuff like that. That's why these frog people, we'll just say, YouTube won't let me say it, so we'll just call them frog people. The do people. If you know what I'm talking about, you know. Okay. So there were giants in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came into the daughters of men, and they bare children to them. The same became mighty men, which were of old, men of renown. So like these demigods, stuff like that, right? Hercules, people like that. And we know in 1 Enoch, it talks about how they became the demons because they were born on earth and their spirits weren't born in heaven. They were born on earth, so earth is where they kind of stay. That's where these demons come from, right? Now, angels, they are demons in the sense of evil spirits, right? But they're not the weird-looking things that we see, even though angels probably are weird-looking to us. But still. They're not the demons that we think of, right? But anyways, so there you go. So that way you guys don't think I'm nuts or whatever, because this just isn't taught in churches today. I don't know why, it's right there, but anyways, I digress. But we're going to wind it down here. I want to thank everybody who liked the video, and those who didn't like the video, thank you for at least giving me a chance. And I want to plug in memberships. I'm looking to see what videos I can provide you guys because I don't want to gate content, right? And especially biblical content. So probably what I'll do is have like little gaming streams with you guys, little Q&A sessions and stuff like that. That way I'm not gating biblical content behind a paywall per se. But I do have my Discord connected to memberships, so you can get a hold of me and ask me questions and stuff there. But I want to do something else for you guys for members. But anyways, it's there. Check it out. And you'll be helping out the channel a lot. But anyways, guys, you have a wonderful day.